Cindy Hodgson here with Essential Therapies to talk more about fascia on day 2. So we spoke a little yesterday about the fascial system and how it can really hang up the body in different ways. And I reminded you all that the fuzz speech is on my website. So if you haven't watched it, I really highly recommend watching the fuzz speech so you can learn about melting your fuzz, or why we need to melt the fuzz, which I'm going to show you more about later with these videos. But I didn't bring up the fact that fascia also is tubular in nature. So there's a hollow center. It's very much like a straw, and you can actually see in the microscopic videos that were taken by Dr. Gamberto, who is a French surgeon and wrote this amazing book about the fascia and human structure, where there's fluid in there. So it's very important to be hydrated, and when the fascia becomes more dehydrated, it doesn't move as well. So throughout this tubular area of the fascia, we have this liquid substance, and also through this they have described it as almost like a fiber optics of sorts, or as our consciousness flowing through this tubular nature. So it's like our mind-body being is kind of the way I like to think of it, and maybe cellular memory is attached to that, and how emotions can also be stored in the body. And this topic is a little bit difficult to bring up in a medical setting, because medicine wants to separate a lot of that stuff from our bodies. But I think it's intuitive mostly for people to feel like they can hold emotions or memories in their body, and it's not uncommon. It happens frequently where I can be working on someone and emotion will come up, and sometimes they have no idea why, and it's happened with me just a countless number of times. So there's something about the fascial system that maintains, and this is really all you need to know about it, is that your emotions and anything related to the mind-body aspect can be stored also in the fascia. So when we begin to release this area and restore the fluidity of the fascia and bring back the mobility and let go of what has been stuck there, a lot of times emotion comes up. So it's just kind of a neat little extra tidbit about fascia, and we're really just beginning to understand and explore through science what's going on there, and maybe we never will fully understand it, but it's pretty amazing stuff. So I mentioned this book. I also wanted to bring up John Barnes' book. I mentioned that he is my teacher and mentor through all of this work, and this is a really fascinating book as well. It talks a lot about specific stories, how he started doing what he is doing today, and a really great epilogue at the end talking more about what has happened and changed over the last few years. And then another really great book for those who want to be sort of nerds about all of this is Carol Davis's integrative therapy book. It has a chapter in it written by John and Carol, and it's really amazing to see how this is really coming out into the mainstream world now. So it's pretty cool stuff. And with the fascia, I just wanted to bring up, going back to the fuzz speech, he talks about melting the fuzz and how we get really stuck, and then you wake up in the morning and you might feel stiff, or if you sit too long. I know when I do my long drives, I just can feel it throughout my whole body. Start paying attention to that throughout your day, because if we don't have awareness about it, we're not even paying attention, and we're really good about not feeling our bodies. So in a next video coming up, I'm going to talk about being in channel 3 or channel 5, and channel 3 would relate to being aware of what's going on and being centered and feeling what's going on in your body. So just throughout the day, begin to notice what might you feel in your body if you're paying attention to your fascia. So I'll just give you a hint here. If I just stretch my arm out, bring your arm behind, and even extend my hand and my fingers, I feel it pulling all the way from the tips of my fingers up into here. And I turn my head and neck, I feel it all the way up into here. So there's no muscle that goes from here all the way to here, what I could just quickly feel. It's the fascial system. Everything is connected through it, and it's holding all of our organs together and protecting our bodies, and it's just fascinating. the crazy thing about it too is that it's not seen on X-ray or MRI, or any testing really that we do. When you have a pain or an ache, and even if it's chronic and significant, and you have all this testing done and nothing is showing up, it's a pretty good chance that it's related to your fascia in some way. And I just have countless stories of my own and patients to go back to about this. So start paying attention to your fascia, begin to see what that fuzz feels like, and there will be more to come.